I had a urinary tract infection and I was prescribed a very commonly used UTI drug. It's called Macrobid, and it rarely has, I mean, like a half of 1% have anaphylaxis, are allergic to the drug. And I am very unique. When it's you, it's not a half a percent. When it's you, it's 100%. So I went into this anaphylactic reaction and I started looking at it and it said you have 10 to 20 minutes to get to the hospital. And wasn't sure what to do. So we called here in the US 911, not 411. And they got me into the hospital pretty quickly. Now, my blood pressure dropped to 50 over 19. Well, once you're a 60, under 60 over 40, you're really in a lot of trouble. So in the ambulance, they measured me at 50 over 19. And when I got into the hospital, um, they said, well, we're surprised you're still talking because I never stopped talking. Um, in fact, I don't even think I was unconscious, but and if this wasn't a near-death experience, it certainly was a brush with death because they said 10 minutes later there would have been nothing they could do for me. So, I just had, it was extremely short because they didn't have long to save me. They had me pumped up with, epinephrine and prednisone, these drugs that try to get you out of the anaphylaxis. And of course, since my blood pressure was so low, they were having trouble. They had to start like 4 IVs, and it took a while, but I was never resuscitated. That I know for sure. I do not remember ever really going unconscious. I mean, I was not somebody that had a massive heart attack or in a coma or any of that. That did not happen. I mean, it was just a real, you know, either you're dead or you're alive, man, and you have 10 to 20 minutes to make that decision. And uh, as I remember the experience, it's sort of my memories came in parts. That I spent my career as an actuary. My practice area was employee pension plans and valuing benefits and liabilities. But I've always loved art, specifically watercolor painting. So right away, when I came home from the hospital, I jotted down a very loose painting of what it looked like going into the experience. And then later I gave it more depth. But also, as time went on, I remembered more of what happened. So, as I was going through this tunnel, which I'm sure you've heard about, um, I could see from the other end that there were like two ridges. And I'm thinking, how am I ever going to climb over those? I'm physically unfit. And I don't know, that sort of left my mind. And then I saw like a fleeting moment of my father with his yarmulke on and his tallis. It's a prayer shawl. But he was flying away from me and he was flying towards a very hazy sun. So but then he disappeared. And I finally somehow or other, I got past these ridges. I don't know how. And I went into this really dark zone. But it wasn't scary. Had these distant stars, and it was sort of just like a floating. And I was in there for a very short time. And then after that, I went into this huge sunlight, and there I saw God. Now, that was something quite different. First place, God was really non-sex distinct, meaning at times she appeared as a warm and loving woman, and at other times he appeared as a strong man. But when he cradled me in his arms, he was a man. So um absolutely. There was no, I'm Jewish. I mean, I don't believe in Jesus. I don't, a lot of people that aren't Jewish can't believe I don't believe in Jesus. But I don't it's not one of my beliefs. And I didn't feel that God really had a religion. He just was a belief. I don't know how to even explain it, but he just like he was non-sex distinct, he was like non-religious. I mean, it could have been whoever you believe in, whether it's Jesus or whatever. So what did I get out of it? Well, I came back to Earth. I was kicked out. First I had the first very most important thing was I lost my fear of death. Major. Then different things that happened after that, like for example, I have my oldest granddaughter is 7, and I've been trying to explain death to her a little, so that she's not scared of it. And I told her of the experience in terms that she could understand. And I said to her, but then God sent me back. And she said, I know why. She said, he knew we would miss you. And she's such an old soul. I mean, she's warm and compassionate, doesn't make fun of people. She's the first to get bullied. She will be anyway, because she's different, just like her grandmother. There are some people that think they're going to meet, I would love to, but like meet back up with my brother, actually, I'd love to meet a great grandmother that I never knew. And, she died at 37, and she had a really hard life. She was from Italy, and I'd love to meet her. But, I just don't know from this near-death experience that you meet people on the other side. I don't know that that's kind of de-emphasized for me. I don't know. Be
I think
nice. Well, if you've had an NDE, take advantage of it, utilize it for its fullest because life's only so long. And if you can fulfill other people's dreams, then it's better than fulfilling your own.